Lawrence LeBrocq, managing partner of Garces, Grabler, and LeBrocq. Welcome to Victim to Victory, Triumph over Tragedy. Today, we have AFB World Champion fighter John Leonardo with us here today, nicknamed Body Shot. So we got John Leonardo here today. Why do they call you Body Shot, John?
I hit everybody in the body, man. Everybody.
So you break them down like a Jake LaMotta type, breaking them down.
That's right.
So let's go back to the beginning. What first drew you into the world of boxing, and how did the nickname, well, Body Shot, come about?
My dad got me into it. My dad's a retired professional. He was 6-3-1 as a pro. He had 70 amateur fights. He won the Daily News Golden Gloves. So he had all like his stuff up on the wall, his robe, all his stuff. Like this was just his whole life. So as a little kid, I guess I always wanted to be like him. And, he started training me and then we took off from there. The nickname Body Shot came actually from I also train fighters. I have a lot of amateur kids I train, and one of the amateur kids that I train, he gave me the nickname because everything I would teach him was the same way I was taught. My dad was big on like hit the body, don't worry about the head. And that's what I tell my kids, and I still tell my kids, hit him in the body. Don't worry. His head moves, his body don't move. Just hit him in the body.
Any knockouts from body shots?
Out of my 6 knockouts, 5 of them from body shots.
And what's a big body shot? Is that a liver shot, or is it just a culmination of
Yeah, it's
shots?
usually a liver shot. I usually hit him with I like to throw the double left hook. I usually throw one to the head and then I rip one to the body. And I think all 5 of them went down from that same shot.
Yeah, it's so funny. My son is in MMA. He's training now, and he said there's nothing like getting hit in the liver. Your just body wants to just shut down, Dad, he says to me.
How
So
old is your son?
he's 18.
Oh, all right. So he's ready to compete then. Where's he training at?
Well, he's thinking about going down with Eric Nolan and Michael O'Brien. They're with Dante Rivera, so
Dante. Yeah. Those are my
so
guys.
he's looking to go down there.
All right. That's
So,
great. That's a good place to start up at.
what's a defining moment for you? I know you said your dad was a professional boxer, but early in your career, what made you realize boxing was more than just an event, but you had a purpose?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of moments that, like made me who I am, especially as a fighter. I would say it would go from like my first fight ever. I won by like a second round knockout. I was like 14 years old. Then I could bounce up to like when I was like 19. I had my first fight at Madison Square Garden, finals of the Golden Gloves. Then I could bounce to my first pro fight. And then I could bounce to like my last 2 pro fights. And it's like, every moment leading up to where I am now made me who I am, and those are all defining moments for me.
So, what does victory mean to you today, and has it changed over the years?
Everything. I don't like losing. I don't consider myself a loser. Like I'm not. I go to win. Like the way I train like a real old school guy. I try to do everything like when I run, I run. I do 10, 15, 20 miles. I do my like a 7:30 or 8 minute pace. Like when I go to my strength conditioning, I try to, dog it out and be there as long as I can. Same thing with my boxing training. When I train my boxing training, even then I got a weight vest on. I got ankle weights on. I got hand weights. I'm the first guy in the gym. I'm the last guy out. Always.
You talk about being the first guy in and the last guy out, but to tell me about the fight that taught you the most in your career.
Definitely my one loss out of, 12-1-1. My one loss definitely taught me the most, and it brought in one of my coaches who wasn't with me. So I grew up in a gym. I was the young amateur kid, 0 to like 2 fights at the time. There was this pro in there. His name was Dustin Fleischer. He was signed to Rock Nation. He ended up retiring 6-0, 5 knockouts to handle stuff outside the ring. He runs a company now. He, after my first loss, reached out to me. He was like, yo, I think I can help you. My dad said, tell him to come in. He's been with me 3 years now. And he flipped my whole career after that loss upside down when I wasn't sure how I was even going to come back from it. He like made that possible.
Well, what changes did he make? What did he do for you to step up your game?
He came in and just tweaked everything. So he came in and he changed a lot of bad habits I had, like bringing my jab back slowly and bringing it down low. I would always move my hands a lot. He was like, "Nah, everything stays tucked tight." He just made my skills better, but he also made my work better in the gym. Like he introduced stuff that I had never done before that he did in his camps. He was in camp with Triple G up in California. So and then he spent his amateur career at the Olympic Training Center. So a lot of the stuff we do is all that stuff that he learned. And that just made me into a better fighter.
So looking at today's boxing scene, do you think fighters are evolving in a different direction? What excites or concerns you about the new or next generation of boxing? I know you're still a young guy, only 25, but any changes with the younger guys?
Yeah. I mean, in all sports, there's changes, and I think that's something like that would come out of my father's mouth was like, oh, my generation was tougher. It was a different generation, and like, not that guys today aren't tougher, but not everyone wants that war. There's really good boxers out there. There were really good boxers then, but like a lot of them would fight in the middle of the ring. Like, I feel like that's not such a big thing today. Everyone's like, it's all about keeping the O, making money, and getting out untouched. And that's good. We will all want to go home safely to our families after these fights. Definitely. But there's also a crowd there watching that wants to get their money's worth and see you bang it out in the middle of the ring.
So you face some adversity in the ring with almost every fight you're ever going to fight. Have you faced any adversity outside the ring and how have you overcome that?
Yeah. Outside the ring, there's life. You got a family at home, got a girlfriend at home, you got to work a job, you got to train clients, you got to get to the gym. Like, there's tons of stuff that like getting ready for my last two fights. I actually had two fights I was supposed to do in 2025, both canceled. One of the guys didn't show up to the weigh-in, and the second fight, I had my eardrum ruptured in the gym sparring. So with that happening, that took a toll on me in the gym and out of the ring. So it's like, I had to pick up a job, work, and now I'm working and training at the same time.
So that's got to be challenging in and of itself. Are you working a full-time job and training full-time?
Yeah, I am. So I'm actually working for one of my sponsors. It's Rolled In Demolition. It's the Demo Boys. My boss, who's my sponsor and a good friend, Steve Rolden, he's the type of guy to give you the shirt off his back. I got a fight coming up. I need sponsorship. I need help. He's the first guy to go in his pocket and be like, yo, here's money. Like, he's always there. Yo, you need food, you need this, you just call me, I'll be there. He's that guy. So when I got hurt, I had called him up, said, yo, I'm looking at, I couldn't do nothing with my ear. Doctor said, you should probably just chill for a little bit. And after I went through two tough camps where the fights didn't come off, I decided to go to work and make some money. And that's what I've been doing. And then I was training my fighters at night and coaching them through their competitions. Tonight's actually my first night back in the gym after my injury. So I'm excited. I'm on my way there now.
That's awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about the younger or early years. When you first started, it was just you and your dad.
Yeah, when I first started, it was just me and my dad. I don't know. I think my dad saw potential in me from a very young age, and he knew I didn't make a lot of the mistakes that he did. Where I wasn't the type of kid to go out, drink, smoke, or really chill with I didn't go to parties or nothing like that. Even as a young kid, high school wasn't into it. Wasn't my thing. I wanted to go to the gym, train. I was an athlete. And I think my dad really seen that. Like on the weekends, I'd be home or in the gym. As now as an adult, it's the same thing. Home or at the gym or working. So I think that'll take you really far in the sport. It'll take you far in the sport because you're out of trouble. Your body's always in good health.
So what is your dream? Where do you want this career to take you?
Yeah, I want to win a world title. I don't
And
care how many fights it's got to take to do it. I definitely want to win a world title, whether it's, any of the main, WBA, WBC, IBF, WBA, WBO, whatever, anything.
has there ever been a time where you and your dad have looked at each other and said that dream may be a little too big?
No, Never. My dad has never ever thought that. Neither have I. I don't think anything's impossible.
So is that what keeps you focused now, even though you have the AFB title? Is it the drive and determination to hold a world title?
Yeah. So like all local titles are cool. Even the sanctioning bodies that have the some smaller titles are cool. But the real goal is a world title. No matter what kind of, little belt you get now, like you want to pass that, get the big stuff.
Is that what keeps you grounded? Is it your dad that keeps you grounded? How do you stay grounded and focused?
I think that's just habit. That's just like my life. But I think sometimes it's good to have your team and to have your family and your girl and stuff like that because sometimes when your discipline is off, I think everybody else around you is like, yo, what are you doing? Like that's not you. Like they're always like I do this for them and I do this for me. So sometimes when it's not just for me and it's for them, like they'll remind me, like, don't forget why you do this, like so that's another big thing that keeps me grounded. Other than myself, yeah, my family, my dad.
What separates the fighters that come from nothing but just fall short from the champions?
I think what sets them apart is, and I think what sets everybody apart is just hard work. Like hard work beats talent. So that's why I work as hard as I can. When I get ready for a fight, like I said, I overdo everything. I make sure my body and my conditioning is like I'm prepped for like a war. That's how I do everything. Like I know I could go 12 rounds without getting tired. I know my body won't give out on me. Like I'm prepped for that.
If your father was listening right now to the podcast, what would you want to tell him about the man you've become?
I would want to tell him that, he's definitely a big part and probably one of the main parts in the man I've become. He taught me really everything I know all the way up to this point, inside and outside the ring. My dad has been a big impact on me. And I think my dad also made a good judgment he brought other coaches in. Me and my dad are very close. Here and there, we butt heads. We butt heads about stuff, but he knew to bring other coaches in. Like I said, I got Dustin Fleischer who's in my corner of me. I have my other buddy, Kevin Coleman. He's a pro boxer also. He was in the corner of me for a long time. And then I got Coach Ron Carter, who's also with me. So I have a very big team and they're all role models to me.
Now, you've been in the fight game for a long time with your dad being a fighter, but what are some of the things, or what is the one thing or harsh reality that fighters should know that they don't get told at a young enough age?
The one thing I always tell my fighters who are very young, a lot of them, I got one of them that's 15, is like, this is something you got to put everything into because if you don't, you're going to find out the hard way. That's the thing about boxing. Like, you will find out by getting hurt because if you don't eat good, if you don't sleep good, if you don't train hard, that it'll show and it'll show by you getting hurt in the ring.
So, we talked a little about a long term boxing goal is to be a world champ. What are your short term goals?
My short-term goals right now, with the 2 fights falling out, I actually just got a call to fight the main event in October in Caesars in Atlantic City for the WBA Federative. So after 2 fights falling out and getting that call, I think that's my short-term goal is to just get through that and then move on to the next thing.
What's your goal after boxing? Where do you want to go? Obviously, you want to continue training, but where do you want to go after boxing?
After boxing, I don't think there'll ever be after boxing. I think it's always gonna be boxing. When I say that, I mean, like, I fight, I coach, and my father and I actually promote. We ran 2 shows, so it's like my whole life is boxing. My dad's gonna be 60, his whole life is boxing, so I hope I can live that life too of just boxing. I never wanna
And
let it go. Like, I love this sport, I love everything about it.
do you have any up and coming fighters that you're training that you see a good pro future for them?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple guys I train and they're still young, very impressed with them. I have a young kid, his name is Tatum, and he actually started out as a kid who was getting picked on. And when I started training him, I actually started training at Rumble, which is like a gym I worked at. It's like a fitness gym. It's more of like a fitness boxing gym. And I told his parents, I said, I see some potential in him. I said, we should bring him to my gym where I train. I'll train him there. And they immediately like, really? Like, all right, let's try it out. Brought him in the first day he ever sparred. He got hit in the nose. He cried. I'm like, bro, it's fine. Don't worry. Like, it's bleeding. The kid had his first fight last week. After a year of training, he's a full different person. This sport changed him into somebody else. Like, he's a warrior now. And that's what this sport will do. And I think it's good for a lot of kids to get into that.
For your fans, what should they be excited about? And what's the next chapter?
I think my fans should just be excited to, for the next fight to be announced, that I think most of them are. Like when I fight in AC, I always sell a lot of tickets. I don't live in AC, but it's like almost like as if I did. It's like a lot of tickets. I always have a lot of sponsors. And I think that's the biggest thing.
So, where are you from, John?
I'm from an New Jersey.
And where's your fan base located?
My fan base is located all over New Jersey. Believe it or not, I sell tickets. Like I drive everywhere. Like when I get a handful of tickets, I drive everywhere to drop them off. I go from Staten Island, North Jersey, South Jersey, middle of Jersey. Prep. I got family in Connecticut that comes out, so I have tickets all over.
Well, tell me a little bit about where's your gym? And if somebody wants to contact you, how can they find you to get trained by you?
Yeah, my gym is in Freehold, New Jersey. It's called Juice Box. I consider us the number one boxing gym in all of New Jersey because we have a clean facility, all brand new equipment. We have a juice bar and we have a kitchen, a full functioning kitchen. We have a menu, everything. And people come in and they just cannot believe how good the food is, that we even have a kitchen. We have a juice bar. So like when I'm done training, we sit down, we have a juice, we eat. And that's like another thing that like all my clients love when they come in. But yeah, if you ever wanted to contact me, you could just reach out through Instagram. It's official John Leonardo underscore.
And finally, one last thing for the fans. What should they know about you?
What should they know about me? I don't know. I'm a hard worker. I want to see my goals through and I work hard to get them done.
Thanks, John, for being with us on Victim to Victory. You're definitely a triumphant guy, and I wish you well in the future. Hopefully, you bring home one of those world titles.
I appreciate it, man, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Take care, buddy.